Good morning, motivators. How are we doing this Monday morning? Now, see, here in Atlanta, hold on. Sorry about that, y'all. Here in Atlanta, it is raining, but listen, we know because of Make It Rain May, we're not afraid of no rain because we're expecting God to rain blessings and miracles and strength and power and encouragement to us every single day this year. My name is Coach P. Angela Jones. I am the director of the CEO Cares Department. CARE stands for Christian Advocates, reassuring and empowering our sisters. And I lead the best team, okay, on this side of heaven when it comes to serving and giving. I lead the CARES team and the Cubs ministry. Cubs are Christians United by Service. We have some women who have a heart for service. We have some women who have a heart to give back. We have some women in the CEO district that have a heart to love on women in their time of need. And I get to lead and guide and direct and pray for them as they pray for you. Yes, there are women praying for you around the clock. And I think it's important before I get started in the motivation that you understand that when you come into the CEO district, you're coming into a love hood. You're coming not just to a sisterhood. Good morning. You're not just coming into a sisterhood. You're coming into a love hood. What does that mean? That means you're coming into a culture of love, a culture of positive energy, a culture of positive vibes, a culture where you can grow and learn in business, take the courses, you can scale your business, you can start the business that used to be a hustle, you can get more business acumen, but along the way, you have some women that are caring about the woman behind the business. We want to know about your spirit. We want to know about your soul. Good morning. We want to know about your heart. We want to make sure your kids are doing well in school. We want to make sure your relational health is great. We want to make sure your marriage or your soon-to-be marriage or your recent divorce, we want to make sure that you're good. And that's what the CARES department does. That's where we come in and say, you know what? Let us pray for you. Come get a mental health check-in with someone who cares and is wise and doesn't want to tell your business and just really wants to see you win. That's what you get when you get into the CEO district and you really get involved with CEO Cares department. So yes, you see me every Monday and Thursday doing the motivation, but we are so much more than this broadcast. But even this broadcast is bathed in prayer. So listen, ladies, today I want to talk about birthing your promise and getting in the birthing position. If you know, and if you've been paying attention all month of September, we're talking about birthing the promise, birthing the thing that God gave you. And today I want to talk about being in position. Now, just because I've had kids, it doesn't make me an expert on kids, but I am an expert on pushing them things out. Listen, I have pushed out 4 kids, okay? So I know a little bit about the birthing process. So I want to talk about you birthing your dream, you birthing what you've been carrying. You know, when we're pregnant with something, it can be an uncomfortable process. It can be a process of gaining weight or losing weight, or definitely your body changes and everything begins to look different. And so I want to talk to some women, and I may not be talking to everyone, and that's okay. But today I'm looking for specific women who are in the birthing process, who know they have something on the inside of them, who know that in spite of what is going on around them, they know they're carrying something. There's something inside of you that you have that needs out, that the world needs to see. You've known it. In your purpose and your calling, you understand the calling story behind see what God gave. with like that for a while, it gets uncomfortable. It gets a little frustrating. You get into that third trimester, you've been pregnant for a while, you know that God called you to this lane. You know, as many coaches as there are, I'm talking to myself, as many coaches as there are in the world, God still called you to be coach. Yes, God still called you to make jewelry. God still called you to do hair. God still called you to do whatever it is that you do. I want you to get focused on your mind, what you're pregnant with right now. And as long as you've been pregnant with this, you're still not hitting the goal you really want to hit. You're still not operating at the full capacity that you need to operate. And you know there's more. Yes, you wrote the book, but you know you haven't wrote the real book, the book. You know you've done a little something out here in these streets, but the real thing that God showed you, the thing that keeps you up at night, because when you're pregnant, sometimes you can't sleep because that baby is moving around in you and you can't get it off your mind. And no matter how much you change directions and positions, it's still moving inside of you. It's uncomfortable. So I want to talk about the things that are going to help us birth it out, because this is birthing season. This is the season we're going to push out what's inside, because the world needs, sis, what you have. So the first thing we have to do is we need to begin to prepare. So when you're in the birthing process, getting in the position for birth, you got to start sanitizing and getting some things clean. And I really want to do a come to Jesus as it relates to is your environment clean enough to push this thing out? Are there some loose ends you need to tie up? Are there some debts you need to pay so that when this big blessing that God's getting ready to bring forth in your life comes, nothing is hindering it? I know that when I had my babies, listen, this was before coronavirus. You can't come in my house and put your breath on my baby and just hold my baby. No, ma'am, no, sir. You have to be sanitized. You got to get clean. Is there some things you need to get cleaned up in your credit? Are there some things you need to get cleared up with your business licensing and all of the things that you need? Our sister, Paula Hatton Vanish, she teaches a wonderful course on how to get all of your stuff together in your business so that you can prepare for the blessing, because everybody's pregnant, right? We all have something that God gave us. But when you start talking about pushing it out and bringing forth that child into the world, and we're talking about business, we're talking about purpose, we're talking about promise. When you get ready to birth that thing out, sis, you need to have some things in order. Some of you may have even nested when you were pregnant. I know I nested really hard, which just means I was chronically trying to clean and sanitize and prepare, and I kept folding the baby blankets and I kept getting the things together, and it may seem like minuscule things to you, but it's preparing for the birth. It's positioning yourself to push the baby out. And the more I would fumble, my mother would say, Piangela, you're nesting. I said, Mommy, I don't know what that means. She says, you're getting ready to have that baby. I said, oh, Mommy, I'm not due for another few weeks. She said, Piangela, you get ready to have that baby. And sure enough, I had my first baby early. I was just in a position of doing the little things, the small things, the insignificant things, the things that nobody really wants to do, to clean up the space so I could prepare for my birth. Number two, are you really uncomfortable enough to have this baby? Because having a baby is a very uncomfortable thing. Having a baby is not easy peasy. Even after you've had your fourth, your fifth, or your sixth child, some of you for your third child, you're like, oh, this was much easier than the first one. It may have been easier, but it's still uncomfortable, because nothing could ever prepare you for pushing out life into the earth. You can watch all the videos, sis. You can read all the books. You can listen to all your aunties and your grandmother tell you, but nothing can prepare you except you, for the moment to be uncomfortable. So I want us to really challenge ourselves to get uncomfortable with our promise, get uncomfortable with our business, accept some engagements that you've never accepted before, apply for some things you've never applied for, go into a different aspect of building business that you've never focused on before, and get uncomfortable, because when it's time to push something out that God gave you, it's not going to be easy. God uses the harsh realities of life to showcase his glory, his strength, and his power. And he wants to do that through you and I. Number 3, sis, you got to get in position. And when I'm talking about position, I'm talking about the birthing position. My mother used to say, Piangela, you got to gap those legs open. I was like, Mommy, don't talk to me like that. She was like, you got to gap those legs open, baby, and push that thing out. Are you ready for that? And I would say, I don't know if I'm ready for that, Mommy. I don't know. And I think about how when you put your feet in the stirrups and you scoot your butt down, they say, come on a little bit more. Come on a little bit more, scoot down a little bit more. That energy that you have to scoot your butt down and you're open in front of those doctors and those nurses and whoever else is in there, that is one of the most vulnerable places a woman can find herself, is in the delivery room. Are you vulnerable in your business? Are you vulnerable in your promise? Are you getting vulnerable and uncomfortable and putting your legs wide open? And when I mean your legs wide open in your business, are you open to something new and different coming out of you? We all want the reward of having a baby. We want the reward of having that 6-figure business. We want the reward of being written about in magazines and awarded in who's who in the USA and who's who in your city. We want those great accolades because of the work that we put in. But are you in position? Are you open enough? Are you open enough to push out the new thing that God wants to do in your life? Because this is a thing that's never been seen. It's never been heard. Since we have to get exactly what you have. I don't care how many people do what you do. I need you to birth the way you birth it, the DNA inside of you. Sis, the CEO district needs what you have. So as you go on about this week, and next week at the end of September, be petitioning God to help you position yourself, help you push out what you need, help you be comfortable and become more open. All that together, someone to encourage you. It's time to push. I'll be back on Thursday to talk about that day out. Sis, we're going to push it out. And I'm your midwife. I'm going to hold your hand. We're going to breathe together. And I'm going to make sure that I do my part to make sure that you get your baby out into this world, because we need you, sis, and everything you come with. I pray this blessed you. I pray this motivated you to get uncomfortable, begin to seek God about the things that you have going on in your life. Well, I need you to go to the CEOdistrict.com, click on the top left tab where it says cares, and listen, let me know if this blessed you. Put in a prayer request, submit a mental health check-in. Since there's no mental health stigma over here, the CEO district, let me just say this real quick. The CEO district, we're birthing babies over here, okay? People are birthing their healings. People are birthing whole miracles. You're looking at one. People are birthing whole businesses, whole collaborations. People are scaling. Income is increasing. We are birthing in the CEO district. You want to be a part of that, sis? You need this in your life. Your sister friends need this in your life. Your cousins, your aunties, your business partners. No one wants to build $1 million business on the back all by themselves. No, I want to synergize. I want to grow with women who know what they're doing, know more than me, know more people than me. And they get out here in these streets and they help me. I want to be a part of all of that. And I want to invite you as well. Listen, we have an inner circle within the CEO district, and it's called the CEO tribe. Listen, sis, that's where it's at. That's where you can access all of your business courses. That's where you can grow spiritually, mentally, and emotionally with women who are for you and not against you. This is where you get that personal development within the greater circle of the district. I want to invite you to Tribe today. Your first month is $1. Baby, this is the best dollar you'll ever spend. The Dollar Tree, Dollar General, and Family Dollar has nothing on that $1 you invest into the CEO district. My name is Coach P. Angela Jones. I pray this bless you. If it did, share it in the inbox on a group page with someone else and encourage them to get in position. You have something to birth. God bless.